Alright, tubers, we've got to get a gas tank out of this old van. This is my old hippie van. I had this temporary tank in here. What happened, those of you familiar with these Volkswagens, after they get some years on them, you got gas tank trouble. Either they rust out or they gum up. This one happens to be gummed up. I changed filters for a while, and finally it stopped up the outlet on the tank, and I threw this in as an emergency. But while this motor is out, I'm going to get this tank out. I'm going to have it treated, get all the gum out of it, and then we're going to have the epoxy lining put in it. So we're going to restore this gas tank. So that's what's on the agenda today. Hang tight, we'll get this cover off and we'll see about getting the old tank out of her. Alrighty guys, you can see that I've got the cover off, and also this elbow here is split, and you can see where the gas is sloshed. I could always smell a little fuel after I filled up, so usually I wouldn't fill it up all the way, but there was my leak anyway. You can see where the gas has kept all the dust washed off of it. I need to get my I gotta get my vent lines. There's a little coupling here to vent the tank. I need to get those off. I'm going to pick this up, and I've got to get my filler neck loose, and I have a couple of bolts in here. They go on these bands through the body. Got to get those out. Hopefully we can get this tank out pretty quick, and we'll get it down to the shop to get it restored. So I'm getting close to where I need to be. I got I took me a deep well socket, and I got my straps loose, both of those. This where this was already cracked, I just went ahead and cut that. I'm going to buy a new 90 for that. There's an inspection plate here. You just pop it out with a screwdriver. I got that loose. What I did, I just and I do this a lot of times with those hoses, you know, when they've been on there for a long time, they get kind of seized. I just took this cotter pin puller and stuck it in here and went around my hose all the way around that hose to loosen that up, and then I was able to just push it off of there. So the only thing I've got left to do to get this tank off, or get this tank out rather, is I'm going to take these loose, my vents, get these couplings loose here, and then I can slide it back enough to get to my wiring. I'm pretty sure, let me feel, yeah, this is my ground here that goes to. I'm just going to take that loose right here, put the screw back in the hole. I always kind of just put my nuts, you know, whatever fasteners I have back in where I got them from. Just okay guys, I was trying to get ready to pull the tank here, and I took my lower fitting out, and all this in my hand. After I took the lower fitting out, I had trouble getting just a little bit of gas what was left out of the tank. Like I said, it was plugged up and I couldn't drive it anymore with the factory tank. So I took this screwdriver and I just gave it just a little poke, rolled it around, and you can see all this. That is what's in the bottom of my tank. That's what's stopping it up. These Volkswagens are notorious for this. You really have to love them if you're going to drive them. Okay guys, one more thing you want to do here. See this is your overflow tube right here. It connects right here. I'm going to get that out of the way. That's going to make things a little more difficult than they need to be. I'm just going to try to tuck it back in here, tuck it back in there, so I have as much room here as I can get, because they didn't allot you a whole lot of room to remove this tank. So let's see if we can get it out of here now. Okay guys, we're moving the tank out. I've got enough room here now. This is my hot lead for my sending unit. Okay, just need to, they've got it just kind of tack down here with a little bit of that insulation. Got it out of the way. This is our ground, okay? All I've got to do now, I've just got to get this bad boy out of here. I'm gonna take the sending unit out and it will be off to the shop. Alright tubers, so I hope you can excuse the mess here. I've got working on the shop here. I need to get this sending unit out so I can get it down to the shop tomorrow. We're gonna, like I said before, we've got to have this thing treated to get all the rust and everything out of it, and then they're gonna I talked to the guy today. It's a plastic type of a coating. I was thinking it was an epoxy, but who knows? Who knows? He said it's a plastic type of coating. But yeah, I've got a real mess in the shop right now. I've got that bench over there. I'm using this wafer board. I'm gonna box it all in, make doors on the front, drawers across the face of it there, and I've just got things torn all to pieces. I'm filling one toolbox up. This toolbox is going to go in my in the old VW van, because I'm always going here and there and doing repairs and whatever. When I, you know, like for example, my buddy, he's got a fuel pump that's out. So, you know, I just really can't. I really can't work out that little toolbox. I just keep that in the Beetle. But yeah, for when I go and do things remotely or whatever, or if I have trouble with the van, you know, I have a toolbox in it. I got some shelves built over here and got all my painting and shop supplies over there. I'm just trying to get this garage arranged to where I have more room. Rob, he's going to be back here working. We've been kind of moving. This was a catch-all. I was just storing a bunch of stuff in here, and Rob's going to be working in here doing his woodworking thing and whatever. But yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. It's all in disarray and everything is piled all over everything else. So I'm gonna get this sending unit out here real quick. Okay guys, let's here's our sending unit. I'll see if I can get a shot down inside this tank here and see how bad a shape it's in. I know it was bad enough to plug my outlet. Alright guys, I don't know how well my camera is picking this up, but you can see the filter there and you can see all of that garbage around it. Okay, I'm gonna have to get that filter off of there for sure. But yeah, it's really, I mean, you know, this stuff isn't all over the tank, but it's plenty bad enough. You can see over in that corner there's more. Okay, the shiny spots, that's metal. The rest of it is garbage. That is the stuff that was going through my plugging my filters up. So yeah, we'll get that old we'll get the in-tank filter off here, get this thing all fixed up, and we should be as good as new.